Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings to Dr. Salwa. So today, as for our group assignment task for the subject of performance management system and employee development, based on our finding that we have gathered along the process. So today, our group are going to present regarding the performance management practices at GKK Consultants Sdn Berhad, in which the company that we have chose for this group project. And so for the group members that we consist of 5 people in this group. It is from Ahmad Shauqy Izhar, Muhammad Ammaruddin, Muhammad Syafiq, myself, Muhammad Anuar Sollehudin, and also Ahmad Syiddique. So as for the this presentation continues, it will consist of from the introduction, background of organization, data collection methods, job descriptions, our findings, and also the critical discussions that we will give it, and also last but not least the practical recommendations and also the conclusions regarding our finding for this particular group assignment in this subject. So I'm going to start with the introduction part, in which this is going to be a basic information regarding the performance management practices. And as you can see in this industry or the business nowadays, the performance management practices are really important and really crucial in order for the company to work in more efficient way and also much more reliable way, depending on the performance management practices itself being implemented in the company. So these two components are really important to be considered when you are implementing the best performance management practices in your company. Other than that, we are going to see regarding the challenges that might be faced by the company or the business nowadays, in which the technology usage, for example, will be huge challenges for the company in order for them to cope with the changes of the technologies that happen or revolved every single day. Other than that, we are going to see the challenges might be caused from the unprecedented market flows, in which it will consequently and simultaneously affect on how our business conduct and in the same way. Other than that, for the third challenges, we are going to see regarding the competitive environments that the business are enduring at the moment, such as the competitors, and also the market labor itself will be a huge challenges when you are conducting better performance management practices in your company. And last but not least, when you are trying to perform or conduct a performance management practices, when you conducting a wrong design method for your company, it will cause a huge impact. And because different job scope requires a different job design or different performance management practices accordingly. And after all, you are going to see that performance management practices require a direct effect with the organizational goals and objectives as well. Then we are going to move on to 2.0, in which I'm going to explain regarding the background of our chosen organization, in which the GKK Consultants Sdn Berhad. So this company actually was based in Kuala Lumpur and was founded back in 2011. And this company are focusing in the nature of their business regarding the training and development provider, and also giving some consultation services as well. So this company widely covered regarding their nature of business, and mainly operate their business in the Asian region, such as in Malaysia, Brunei, Australia, and many more. And other than that, some such quite number of figures has been embedded in this company, in which they have trained for more than 4,000 professionals along their journey of services. And some of the awards that have been gained by this company, in which this company has been nominated as the top 10 companies in the region. Other than that, this company also has been listed as the Fortune 500 companies, as well top 100 companies in Bursa Malaysia. So this is quite a huge awards or recognitions being implemented or being recognized thoroughly by this GKK consultant Sdn Bhd. And other than that, this company has a various of department as well, and not only focusing on the HR and the training department, but also consists of other department as well, such as marketing department, accounting department, and also administrative department. So this is a very flexible and various kind of style companies in which are really compatible with our subject of matter when we are going to conduct regarding the performance management system in such company. So as for the 3.0 or the data collection methods that we have been used in order for us to acquire and extracting some of the crucial informations to be used as our findings. So we have been decided to use an online interview method, in which in this pandemic it is much more recommendable for you to use the online based platform, so that we are can fully trust to the contactless method. So this online interview also require us to prepare some of the questionnaires or some of the questions that we want to ask to our interviewee, so that we on both parties that we much more acknowledge or knowledgeable regarding the subject matters. Other than that, on that particular day of the online interview session, all 5 of us in our group, we have conducting a group interviews in which all of our members are being given a chance to ask the questions to our interviewee, so that we can having more interactive and collaborative discussion between one another. And other than that, this online interview also are also being recorded, so that we can refer it later on once the online interview session is finished, so that we can gather more attentive details or attentive focus of subject matters up later on to use in our report. So as for our interviewee part, in which we are proud that we can interview Mr. Bobby Bale, in which he is an associate director for the GKK consultants, and we are really honored, and we have given so much informative feedback, and also some of the crucial information regarding the performance management practices that have been conducted in his company. And this presentation will be continued to discuss more regarding the output or the findings that we have been gathered in this online interview session in the first place.
Okay, hello everyone. So I will continue this presentation for our group, which is about job description. Okay, basically a job description is a statement that outlines the specifics of a particular job or a position with a company. It goes into a detail about the responsibility and condition of the job. Maybe doctor or anyone will wonder what is the role that held by Mr. Bobby in GKK consultant. So everyone, focus to this slide first. As I mentioned before by my friends, which is Syafiq, that Mr. Bobby is an associate director in GKK consultant, and from the interviewing session, we can collect several information about their job description as an associate director in GKK consultant. So roughly, Mr. Bobby, of course, he is the one of the person that will appraise and involve, especially in performance appraisal of employee. So next we go in details about their roles in the company. First, as associate director in company, Mr. Bobby has duties which include planning, coordinating and overseeing events for such a purpose as increasing an organization visibility and to raise money for a project completion. In this capacity, Mr. Bobby is likely not only to manage a core group of staff members, but will also be responsible for communicating with and coordinating the activities of outside sponsor, vendors, and others important to end event success. Not only that, Mr. Bobby also frequently involved other duties such as assisting directors on special project, delegating responsibility to specific employees, and assuring that all communication important to project's success and GKK consultant overall goals is seamless. Moreover, Mr. Bobby also documents communication and progress made toward strategic goals and gather this information into a special report for further evaluation by director, board members, and other principals. Okay, lastly, in terms of performance management system, Mr. Bobby also will presenting statistical performance analysis and recommending solution. Sometimes, Mr. Bobby also will get involved in design and review policies that is related to employee performance. Okay, I think that's all from me. We will go to the next part that will presenting by our group members. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum Doctor and all my fellow friends. I hope all of you are doing well right now. Today, I will explain about my part, which is planning. Okay, in this company, a pre-planning stage is the opportunity for the project to prepare to get a good start in the performance management practice. In terms of performance appraisal conducted by this organisation, the contract and also the intern employee should not be forgot to do a performance appraisal. This is important because at the same time, it is not only permanent employees who have to work hard, but also for the contract and the internship employee. The company using a several model approach conducting the appraisal on the employee working in the company, such as 360 review method and others. But in this case, the 360 degree feedback, also known as the multi-rate feedback, is a process which the employee subordinate, colleague, and the supervisor provide the feedback, as well as the self-evaluation by the employee. Okay, now we move to the next slide. Okay, the review must give a overall rating based on the individual factor rating. This is important to check the significant performance standard and completion of the essential function. Each review does not have to be given the equal weight, but the review should explain why significant difference in the overall rating exists. They also obtain the feedback from the employee on the training requirement. Consider the employee willingness to participate in the employee development opportunities when rating them. The assessment can be done by several parties such as manager, colleague and human resource officer and other. The company also conduct a SMART plan, which means that they can clarify the ideas, focus on their effort, use their time and resource productively, and at the same time, increase the chance of achieving what they want in life. SMART stands for the distinct component of specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely bound. Okay, now we move to the last slide. Okay, according to Mr. Bobby, the appraisal done by the company on the employee are done on a monthly basis. The evaluation form will be distributed via Google Form, and the question will consist of various appropriate level. Each department has its own KPI that must be achieved. So, each question and assessment will be done according to the job position and the job scope. In fact, all the assessments were done with the consent of the employee without the existing of bias problem from any party. So, to avoid any bias from the other third parties, all the assessment consists of the employees. Okay, that's all from me, and thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Ammaruddin. So I will continue the presentation by presenting my part, which is the evaluation. So following the needs of the assignment, we are required to ask on how an organization conducted a performance management towards the employees. According to the Associate Director of GKK Consultants, Mr. Bobby, the performance management will be conducted every 3 weeks or sometimes quarterly in a year. In terms of the method, Mr. Bobby added that GKK Consultant used the 9-quadrant model or the 9-box grid to evaluate their employees' performance. This is because he also added that the managers always pay attention into two things when assessing an employee's performance, which are the performance itself and also the potential of the employees. So basically, the 9-box grid consists of 3 steps. So the first step is assessing performance, followed by assessing potential, and last but not least, bringing those two together. So the first step, which is assessing performance, consists of 3 categories, which are low, moderate, and high. Low performance means that the employee does not match the requirements that were set by the organization, and moderate performance is when the employee partially meet the requirements, and high performance means that the employees fully meets the requirements that were set by the organization. So moving on to the second step, which is assessing potential. So assessing potential also consists of 3 categories, that is low, moderate, and high. But the only differences between the assessing potential and assessing performance is that low potential is when an employee is currently at full potential at working, but not expected to be improving in any time soon. Either because the employee are at their maximum limit, or the employee does not have any motivation. So moving on to the moderate potential. Moderate potential is when an employee has potential to further develop their skills regarding their tasks. And high potential means that the employee is eligible for promotion by the organization immediately or within 2 or 3 years in the future. So the last step of the 9-box grid is to bring the performance and potential together by plotting both employees' performance and potential on a 3x3 grid to see their performance value. So I think that is all from my part. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Alright, okay. Thanks to my friend, to my dear friend, and hello everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will present about recommendation, but not recommendation, but practical recommendation. So before I continue about practical recommendation, I will introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Syiddique Shah, and this is my presentation. So we have in previous slide we have looked at what my friend explained, and so I will explain about recommendation. We have 2 points here. The first point is performance evaluation, and the second point is communication. So the performance evaluation, if the appraisal output is moderate or low, or both, can be moderate and low, and then employer must have this question in their mind. So the first question is, what are the strategy proposed by the company to encourage the employee to improve himself or themselves? And the second question is, how frequent is the performance evaluation conduct, and what major area are being assessed? So to answer those 2 questions, if related to practical skill, training is the solution, either in-house training or attending courses related to one's own skills or during the economic downturn, management level can be always invite experts to the facilities, and in addition, the mode of evaluation have to be transparent and visible to perform every quarterly. So that is for performance evaluation. For communication, I got 4 points. The first point is it is an equally important aspect that need priority to avoid misunderstanding when instruction is given. So if we can look and we can see all the top management, sometimes what instruction that top management give to their employee sometimes very differently. So the second point is communication skill enhancement can be considered a long-term strategy. Communication skill in two ways: employee and employer, or employer and employee, or top management with low management. Communication skill is very good and it is a long-term strategy. And then as a management, the management have to do a proper schedule to prepare according to different level of staff in attending prior to the course. And the last point is it can also be one regular activity conducted internally so that staff are able to acquire their confidence level. Sometimes staff in the company, sometimes they have a low confidence level. So the important thing is the company have to do training. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. So from all of the points that have presented by my group members, I can conclude that the visionary of a success is always the key for company's progression. After all, contains learning and improving based on the performance appraisal allow for more effective decision making, followed by leading and influencing larger teams to achieve their goals effectively, especially for GKK consultant. Performance appraisal are not only an evaluation process of a person's performance with a reward or punishment as an outcome of it, rather it is intended to align and improve the performance of an individual to meet the organizational goals. Overall, we can conclude that good performance appraisal that can be implemented in every company is firstly serve as a holistic measurement system which is impartial and impersonal and can be used across the organization. Last but not least, the performance appraisal and the performance management system should help an employee in achieving the result efficiently and effectively, thereby also fulfilling the organizational goals. I think that's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.